Welcome to Keto Beyond the Couch, episode 269.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are
two
crazy ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome.
Yes, welcome. If you're new here, please say hi down below.
Now, here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon in that way. Every single time, I'm afraid the screen is just empty. You'll be alerted to it.
It was a delay.
What is going on your face? Did you burn your face?
I cut myself. So
How?
Because
Picking your nose?
No, because the other day I was supposed to go to scuba diving on Friday with my friend Hugh, who is my instructor trainer. And we were supposed to go out, but they didn't have enough people to go in the afternoon dive.
So then they canceled the boats.
So they canceled the boat because they don't want to run a boat for 5 people.
Well, I don't blame them.
It's expensive.
Unless you're going to buy it out.
And so I'd gotten my hopes up to go back in the water. And so Saturday morning, this is the great thing. The one reason I don't want to move. Like, I want to move in the worst way. I want to move, like, a little bit further up north, have a farm. The one reason for me to not want to move is we are 15 minutes away from diving.
Yeah.
And once I get to the dock, we're 20 minutes away from being in the water and underwater. And so Saturday morning, I woke up at, like, 6 a.m., 6:30, and I look down. I look at I turn on the beach cam, and I'm like, it's a little choppy, but, and I look at the schedule of all the boats going out, and I'm like, oh, I love that reef. It's one of my favorite reefs. I want to go. So I jumped out of bed. I'm like, I'm going. And the thing is that because I have a mustache, I need to get a good seal on my mask. Yeah. So I got to take the razor
Same
and just,
for me.
Just like a little bit below my nose. There are other options, but I find it works best to do it that way, especially because I solo dive. And so I did that, and I accidentally sliced my face.
I am so
By the way,
sorry.
Thank you, because I got all the way down to the boat, and then I decided I didn't want to dive with anybody that was on the boat, so I wanted to go solo diving, and I had everything set up for going with Hugh the day before. I had that BCD and everything. And so then I got down there, I didn't have my pony bottle, which is my secondary bottle of air, and I didn't have
stop there,
the BCD.
Because Joe called me and said, hey, babe, I don't have my pony bottle. Can you run it down to me? So, yes, I get it. I start heading toward him. I get another phone call. Wait a minute. I also forgot.
Well, because I have a specific BCD that holds that pony bottle.
So
the solution is, and I've already taken care of that with Hugh, is order that attachment to put it on all of my BCDs.
Yeah.
This way, it doesn't matter which one I have. All I need is the pony bottle. So thank you for bringing that to me.
I'm so thankful that I could be helpful.
The most amazing dive. And for somebody who might be typing, like, why are you solo diving? I'm specially trained to solo dive, and I only do it in certain circumstances where there's a boat above me following me, and I'm only in like 40 or 50 feet of water where I know I could get to the surface on my own. Anyway, swimming along, and this giant sea turtle comes swimming right up and butts.
Literally boops your mask.
Literally, he comes. I'm just watching him. He's so graceful when they swim in the water.
They are.
And swims right up to me. So I'm watching him, and he comes directly at me. And he literally comes up like that.
An Eskimo kisses you?
An Eskimo kisses my mask.
You got magically Eskimo kissed by a sea turtle?
So I'm just watching him.
That's got to be good luck, right?
And then I had my scooter with me, and I start going down, and he follows me. Like, side by side. It was like I had a buddy the whole time.
Gosh.
For almost 10 minutes, this sea turtle is within arm's reach.
You mean
swimming
fins?
With me.
You mean flippers reach or fins reach?
It was the most opposite. And then he disappeared, and a couple minutes later, this big manta ray.
What were you having? Like an underwater Lion King moment?
And I didn't have my camera.
Of course you didn't. Of course. So
anyway, it was a
I'm
great
so
weekend,
glad
but I did cut my face.
that you got to go. I got to go to the park, get this like season of Mother's Day kicked off right, spending some time with my grandbaby at the park, and our daughter Michelle gave me the cutest gifts. She is such a great gift giver. Do you know somebody that's just an awesome gift giver? Because like our daughter is such a good gift giver. She got this bouquet of flowers, but she completely knows me and how I am about cut flowers and how long they last, and I want to keep things forever. So she got me a bouquet of crocheted ones.
Those are awesome.
Is this so beautiful? And it just says
I was hoping they put
it
like
smells
a
like your house. We love you every day, which I really appreciate. And then also, she got me a special purse for all of my OMA things. Because those OMA things are different than other people's things, right?
That's true.
They're very different. As you can see from my hat, I am ready.
I feel like very overdressed.
I am ready for the low carb cruise.
Oh, yeah.
It is coming. And I am here for it.
Not even 2 weeks.
Is anybody else trying out bathing suit cover-ups and hats right now? Because you can't take it all. I've learned that the hard way. So you have to kind of thin things out. So I'm always looking for what's a good beach cover-up, what's the good hat for the year.
By the way, speaking of low carb cruise, for those of you who are going on the low carb cruise, to let you know, we have opted to. We're going to do we did the unlimited specialty dining package.
Let's do it.
So we probably won't be eating in the dining room very often, except for maybe on lobster night. Because I don't eat lobster, but Rachel does, and then I can give her my lobster. But if anybody else got the specialty dining,
let us know.
We'd love to have dinner or something with somebody if you're on the cruise and got special. I saw some people posting about going to Chops on the first night. You can't book reservations until you actually get on the ship, except for the first day.
On the boat.
Yeah, but super, super excited about that. A couple things. This, by the way, I wanted to let you know, is
dun 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 dun.
This.
Oh, yeah. I am looking forward to
Jonathan
tasting
Shane.
something else that may be bubbly this week that came new.
Oh, yes, it's over there. Yeah, we got that. We're going to do a video about that. We got the new Element. They sent us a package. But I think they sent us a package because we buy orders and stuff like that. So anyway, so we love this stuff. It's from Jonathan Shane, the Keto Road.
Keto Road.
I love it in my Celsius, in my my sparkling water. So welcome to Keto Beyond the Couch. If you are new here,
we're glad to see you.
Keto Beyond the Couch is all about subscribers. We love to celebrate the wins of our subscribers, success stories, and so we do this every Monday as much as we can. We do it live at 10 a.m. Eastern time. If we're not live, we at least put it up and we premiere it where we are active live in the chat. And also, the other thing before we get on, I did want to mention that this Thursday we have a dinner at our church that we need to go to. So we will be doing our live stream. We haven't decided yet, either Wednesday evening or earlier on Thursday
afternoon.
Let us know in the comment section.
What
should we move it to Wednesday, or should we do it at like 5 p.m. on Thursday? I don't know which one is better.
I don't know.
I don't remember what time the dinner is.
I was going to say, before we put out a time,
I think the dinner's at 7.
It would probably be Thursday afternoon or Wednesday night.
Yeah, so let us know down in the comments
after
section.
This video plays.
Yeah, after the video plays. So anyway, if you're new here, the way we do this is we're going to go over everything for Keto Beyond the Couch, and then we will address the live chat the last 10 or 15 minutes. So if you have a question, hold off until the last 10 or 15 minutes, or you can use the super chat function, which is the $ thing down below in the chat box. That does two things. Number one, when you make a donation, it does benefit the channel. This is our full-time job. We greatly appreciate that. But more importantly, what it does is it highlights our screen and lets us know that you've got a question and we can address it right away. We're going to get right into everything. We're going to start off with our subscriber of the weeks. So I updated my computer, and the program that I use to create all of these slides it's finicky now. So I could not put like a post where I put the label across the bottom. I got to redo things and I didn't have time. So we're jumping right into subscriber of the weeks. First one we have is
Dun, dun, dun,
From
dun.
Alyssa.
Hey, Alyssa.
Said, I started the year with a goal to post a picture monthly so I can visualize my changes. However, with my keto hiatus, I completely avoided it last month. Now that I'm back on track, I started back up even though I'm 15 pounds heavier and not where I want to be. However, it is way better than where I started.
Oh man, Alyssa, I love this. Thank you so much for sharing this. Truly, this is worthy of a subscriber of the week, because subscriber of the week isn't, hey, everything is perfect and no problems ever and no problems ever for infinity and beyond. We live this life, and I love that you are celebrating how far you've come, which is amazing. You look incredible.
Next one we have is from Juliana.
Hey, Juju B.
Said, excuse the low quality photo, was cleaning out my closet today. These pants fit a few years ago, and now my 10-and-a-half-year-old fits in them with me.
Wow.
Side note, after we had a giggle fest, she asked me why I own pants this big. Just goes to show you, your kids don't see us for the was we do. She doesn't remember me even being this size a few short years ago. Size 24 to a 12 currently, and I'm still going. Slow as a pace.
Yes, it is.
Keep going, y'all.
A sustainable one. Look at Juju B. Juliana, I am so flippin' proud of you, young lady. Amazing success, and the patience that you've shown and your journey along the way that you shared with everybody has been absolutely priceless. You are just such an inspiration to me, and I'm just so proud of you.
Yeah, and it's funny. Do you remember, like, when you lost weight, we went camping and we took a picture of you
with Caleb?
You'll have to put it on my
I think
networks.
you
did it with all of them.
I did
you have
with
one
all
with
of them.
Caleb and one with
But
Anthony.
I have them where, like Juju B did, a jacket with me and the kids wearing the jacket at the same time.
And
but that
the
is
same
such
thing.
a victory.
We've talked about how the kids never cared
They
that we
don't.
were heavy.
So do not wait to take the pictures with your family this Mother's Day. I don't want to see anybody not having a picture with their family if they would like to get together with their family and take a photograph of that. Do not wait because you don't think that you look perfect for the Mother's Day picture. If you're going to be there for your mother, maybe you're going to a dinner and you are so blessed like I am that you have a mother, take a picture with your mother. That is a precious thing. I wish that this coming Father's Day, I could take a picture with my father on Father's Day, regardless on what either of us look like, right? So if you have a mother that is here with us still, please get your photo with that person in your family. Don't wait until you feel like you look perfect in a photo.
Let's take a quick fade to black and come back with some more comments.
Joe is not even thinking about packing yet. That is what I know.
No.
That is what I know. We won't be thinking about that until, when do we leave? The 26th? So like the 25th?
We're going up.
Late?
I guess we're going up Thursday, right? Thursday. When do we leave? Friday or Thursday? I don't even remember.
I'm not sure, but so if we left on Thursday though,
Well,
you'd be
we're going
thinking
up,
about it
we're staying,
Wednesday?
We're staying up in the Orlando in the Titusville area overnight. So yeah, we'll probably, I'll pack like Thursday morning.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, I did see Debbie put a picture up in the Low Carb Cruise Facebook group. We should have gone diving. She's going diving in St. Thomas.
Oh,
I didn't even think about that. This week, you and I are going to go up to Blue Heron Bridge because this week the tides are with us. It's like 10:30 in the morning, which is, you only get 1 hour a day.
Well, that's my prayer for everybody this week. May the tides be with you.
Nice. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's jump right in. First comment we have is from Pam.
Me first. Hi, Pam. Hi, just listened to Joe about counting macros. I eat under 20 carbs. I try to eat 115 grams or more of protein and eat between 60 to 100 grams of fat. I've been keto for 2 years. Now, here's my problem. I have had diarrhea the whole time, at least 4 to 5 days a week. I haven't had a gallbladder for decades and had no problems after surgery. Diarrhea began with keto. No idea where to go from here. I've upped the fat. I've lowered the fat. I've taken ox bile, no change. Only when I go off keto for more than 3 to 4 weeks do I get close to a normal, not runny stool. So what macros should I follow? I really hope someone sees this. Sorry for this being so long. Thank you for everything you do.
Okay, so again, we are not doctors, nurses, or health professionals, but we have some friends who are. And one of them is Dr. Barry. Dr. Barry's got a great video about doing keto with gallbladders, without a gallbladder. So I left that link down below. It's not so much going to be about your macros. It's going to be about the way you consume the fat. And, so if you're newer to keto especially, your body's not used to eating as much fat, you have to kind of just take your time. But go check out Dr. Barry's video. He's got some great pointers on how to do keto with a gallbladder. The bottom line is the diarrhea comes from fat and salt, unless there's some other issues going on. And this is just me.
Yeah, go for it.
If I look at all of the health benefits of eating the proper human diet,
I'm not going back because of diarrhea.
The only issue that I have is runny stool I'm dealing with. Now, personally, I kind of I don't want it hard and sticky and struggling to come out.
This is a lot
That's
of information
a problem
for a Monday morning.
Yes, it is. But
I'm going to have a second cup of coffee.
You have
over this.
It's like if you watch our RV videos, we talk about you always have to give up something to get something. Well, it's the same thing with your health. If you're going to have to give up something to get something. And so if you're looking for optimized health,
right,
this is the proper human diet. It's going to be the way to do it. And you have to give up certain foods that you might not like. And it's just a matter of figuring out what works for you to not have those runny stools. But it's going to take a little bit of time. But don't give up. Go check out Dr. Barry's video. Next one we have is from Tanya.
Hi, Tanya.
Say, good afternoon. Can you build muscle while staying keto?
Oh, please.
Absolutely.
Abso-smurfly.
It is a complete myth.
Yeah.
And an untrue statement that you need carbs to build muscle. You do not need carbs to build muscle. That is false.
As Dwight Schrute would say.
Carbs is nothing more than an energy or a fuel source for your body. But so is fat. And the best thing to do, if you want to see, can you build muscle on keto, go check out our friend Robert Sykes, Keto Savage. Go check out our friend, the Keto Road, Jonathan Shane. Go check out our friend Bronson and Natalie. I mean, all of which are keto, and yet they've been keto for a long time, and they continue to build muscle.
Definitely check out Dr. Jamie Seaman. Mm-hmm. Also, Dr. Fit and Fabulous is her name on Instagram. She is actually had Robert start training her, and she's giving week by week reports of everything, including what's going on in her hormones. So that's a perfect person to look up as well.
It really comes
bodybuilding,
down to
strength training,
protein, and doing strength training.
Yeah,
that's what you need. It's got nothing to do with the carbohydrates. And anybody who tells you that you do need carbohydrates to build muscle,
are misinformed.
They're misinformed.
Yeah.
Next one we have is from Kathy.
Hey, Kathy, do you use any of the SodaStream drink mixes? I'm not sure about the ingredients, but the grapefruit is so tasty.
Okay, so we have 2 videos on how to modify your SodaStream. I left the link for both of them down below in the description box. The reason there's 2 is because there's the old model of SodaStream and there's the new model. The old model, the bottles were blue. The new model, the bottles are pink. So you have to follow the correct video. But if you want to modify your SodaStream where you don't have to use their proprietary bottles anymore, you can follow those videos, and then you don't have to change. I almost want to have one in the RV, because we have a SodaStream in the RV.
Yeah, we do.
But it uses those proprietary bottles, and we run out so quickly, and those bottles are expensive.
Well, and it was interesting. We were on the road and wanted to swap them out.
Walmart didn't do the swap. We had to buy another bottle.
And so the place that we were at was like, well, yeah, we stopped swapping them. So there's another incentive for me to change it up if you can.
I might even just do it because I can, I have a place where I could permanently mount and hide the bottle. Anyway, I digress. Yes, we love the SodaStream. I put things like salty in my SodaStream. I put stuff like True Endurance, Element. Now, when you use any of these kind of things, especially when they have magnesium in them, it does make it bubble. So you gotta pour it in there, cover the top, let it settle. But now Chris Bayer likes to get things like the flavor enhancers, like Mio kind of things.
Right.
I don't like the SodaStream soda flavors very often, like the knockoff, like Dr. Pepper.
Wish
I
I
don't
was
really
Coke.
like those. But SodaStream did recently, I think they got bought out by Pepsi.
They must have, because it's got that
so
line.
they do have like the Pepsi One, Starry, Diet Pepsi, and the new thing that they have is this.
They have Mountain Dew Zero and Diet Mountain Dew.
Yes.
We also saw.
Now, I will say it's not the greatest ingredients.
No.
It's not the greatest ingredients.
Well, Diet
if you're
Coke
buying
isn't good.
Mountain Dew,
Yeah.
or Diet Mountain Dew, or Mountain Dew Zero, it's the same ingredients. Why I like this, number one, is cheaper because soda's expensive. Number two is I actually use about half as much syrup as they recommend, and sometimes even a quarter of it. So it allows, basically, I'm getting less of the bad stuff. Like Dr. Barry and Miss Nisha have
Wean yourself off.
A great video on like basically taking soda and cutting it. So you take a Diet Coke and you cut it like 50% seltzer water, 50% soda, and that helps you. So I basically do the same thing. So I left a link for this. This is the newer product from them. I really, really, really like this. So does Anthony. He said it tastes just like Mountain Dew Zero. Also, I've been experimenting, and this works. When we were in Lancaster, I bought root beer extract because I love homemade root beer.
Right.
The problem is, to make homemade root beer, you need to use grains and yeast and sugar. And you basically let it ferment. So I came up with this idea of, what if I bought root beer extract and I put, it's about a capful into this, and then some drops of liquid sucralose, and it was amazing.
It is amazing. It was really, really amazing. So all you're doing is putting this cap.
Yes, but I found do not use the cap to measure.
Okay.
Because what happens is you pour it in there.
Uh-huh.
And then when you put it back on top, now all the root beer, so you need
rings.
to use like a teaspoon thing. The cap's just easier.
And what you're doing is just, you're completely skipping the whole, like,
fermentation process.
The fermentation process, but you're getting the flavor.
I'm getting the flavor,
of a
and
diet
then I'm
root beer.
using what I consider to be a keto-friendly sweetener in sucralose. You could also use allulose.
Yeah, you could turn it into a water too.
Yeah.
Like the droplets.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
Really, really good. So yeah, that's what we do with our SodaStream. Next one is from Brandon.
Hey, Brandon.
Okay, so this was actually, I pulled it, and I don't know if this person is a regular subscriber, but it brought up a good point, so I wanted to answer. And it was off of an old video. It was our review of the Beyond Meat burgers.
I remember that.
Which I will say, they do taste like meat.
That's what was probably the most frightening thing.
But it's a science experiment.
Yeah.
And so, judging by the comment, this may be a hater on us.
Okay.
But
all right.
It said soybean oil has nothing to do with keto, as well as this product here, being Beyond Meat. You can have your health opinions, but it has nothing to do with keto. Not everybody is petrified of everything like you. Now, here's the thing.
Yeah, that doesn't
we're
sound
talking
like
about, we've been
super close friends.
We've been talking about some friends, of ours who are also YouTubers. Should we do some videos like of hate comments just to have fun? Kind of take back the hate. Like, have fun with it, laugh at it.
It's coming whether we do anything with it or not.
Right. So anyway, here's the thing. This person is correct. Brandon is correct. Soybean oil has nothing to do with keto. Seed oils have nothing to do with keto.
Yeah.
You can absolutely, you can absolutely consume
mayonnaise made with
soybean oil, corn oil, vegetable oil, all of the horrible seed oils. You can absolutely consume all of that stuff and stay on a ketogenic way of eating.
Yeah.
And it will not kick you out of ketosis or ketogenesis.
Right.
However, soybean oil and seed oils are bad for your health overall.
Right.
They increase inflammation. They're not natural. The way they're heated, the way that they're made is all bad for you. Not to mention that soybean and corn are the most heavily grown crops that are GMO. So you're getting a GMO crop. Also, by the way, people who talk about meat eaters are destroying the environment because of off-gassing from animals, growing soybeans is 10 times worse for the environment than cows. Because think about, what do they have to do to farm that stuff? How much pollution are we putting into the air from the farming of it, from running the tractors, from transporting it? But the bottom line is soybean oil has nothing to do with keto. It's just bad for your health overall.
I mean, it's kind of like my same policy on tube tops. So they may come in my size, but I'm not taking it home because it's not good for anybody. It's just not good for anybody. So I mean, you could buy it. I mean, they have it, and probably in the size that would fit into your pantry, but it's not good for anybody. Yep. Think of it as a tube top.
And I'm going to say that when we started keto, we didn't immediately give up seed oils.
No.
We didn't. I mean, we did what we could do. And as we learned, we did more. And I will never forget the first step that we took into consuming healthier fats was buying a
Hellmann's
mayonnaise.
And Kraft.
And Kraft had one too that said olive oil mayonnaise. And we purchased
No, it was
that.
avocado oil.
Oh, it was avocado oil mayonnaise.
Yes.
And we purchased it because it was like half the price of Primal Kitchen. And so we bought it and we brought it home and we turned over the label after we used half of it, and we noticed they lied to us. Because the front just said avocado oil mayonnaise, but when you looked at the ingredients, because we didn't know, we looked at the ingredients. The first ingredient wasn't avocado oil. The first ingredient was soybean oil.
Well, so it's funny.
And avocado was way down in there, and that is what spawned
product
reviews.
So if we're ever a pain in the neck to Hellmann's or Kraft, they can thank themselves. It was their own label that got these two boogers started.
Right. So but it was a gradual process. As we learned what seed oils do to you, we cut them out. Now, are we completely seed oil free? No. I'd say we're about 98% seed oil free. If we go out to a restaurant,
you can't control it.
We get a salad dressing, like ranch dressing or something, it's going to be made with seed oil.
Some Hidden Valley
but we
ranch
don't use it
there.
at home. Okay.
Yeah.
Next one we have is from Lois.
Hey Lois, I subscribe to the 20-packet mystery box with Keto Chow. Can I use your code and get 10% off other items on the Keto Chow website?
Yes. So in the bottom of every video is our Keto Chow link. Now, we do not have a code for Keto Chow. We don't have it. We purposely don't have a code. The reason we don't have a code is because that code, when they do a code, what happens is people get these codes and they post them on like coupon websites.
Right.
Okay, which I understand. I'm all about saving money. It's beneficial. However, it's not beneficial to the company, and it's not beneficial to people who do videos or who are working with these different companies, because what happens is the company doesn't know where did you really hear about them from, and they use that stuff to track how do we market our product.
Right.
So if you're just finding it randomly that way, they don't know how you found their product, and that doesn't help them when they're trying to market their product. So what Keto Chow does is they have that code, but that code will not benefit the person. So if you have, for example, us or Indigo Neely or somebody else, and you just type in their coupon code, that person doesn't get credit.
No.
It gives you a discount, but that person doesn't get credit. The only way for us to get credit is if you use the link. So we asked Keto Chow, just get rid of the code, because it kept showing up on coupon sites. Then they have to go change it. And it's just easier for the company themselves to say, no codes. Use the link.
Yeah,
right?
It's just easier.
It's on our website, it's in the bottom of every video. If you use that link, every time you use that link, you will get 10% off anything that is not a subscription at Keto Chow. Whether it's a single packet, a bulk bag, or minerals, or whatever you want to order.
Now, we do have a code for Keto
This is every company
Brick.
is different.
Keto Brick.
Yes.
And I just wanted to remind everybody, in case there's still some available, that they re-released Banana Nut Muffin yesterday. So if you're interested in that, you can use our link and the code to
And that's a one-time use code.
And then that'll give you $12 off your first order of multiple bricks.
Let's see. That's the one we just had, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one is from Jessica.
Hey, Jessica.
So I just ate bacon wrapped scallops. Ooh, those are delicious.
Those are really good.
For my first time, and I love them. I felt like they tasted sweet, so for kicks, I looked up the carb count. Did anyone else know they have carbs? I am so sad I ate 6.
Don't be sad.
So most shellfish has carbs.
Yeah.
Okay. I would not worry about it.
I wouldn't either,
okay?
Jessica.
Now, what I would say is, like, when you look, if you're gonna buy store-bought ones, like we've bought the ones in Costco. I'm talking specifically about bacon wrapped scallops. I am not a seafood eater. Rachel is, but I do like bacon wrapped scallops. I also like oysters. When you buy them, if you're gonna buy pre-made ones, just turn it over and look at the ingredients and make sure they're not adding sugar.
Right.
There might be sugar in the bacon. I don't worry about that.
Yeah,
okay?
it's part of the curing process.
But if you see like scallops and then you see bacon and then they have other ingredients and the sugar is not part of like what makes the bacon, I probably wouldn't buy those. But there are, if you go to a seafood restaurant, if you go out to eat, or if you make them at your home, bacon wrapped scallops themselves, I wouldn't worry about it. Scallops are sweet. They do have carbs in them. But I look at this carbs in scallops like I look at the carbs in eggs and beef liver, and there's carbs in shrimp.
Yeah.
You're fine. Now I wouldn't say eat 100 scallops a day.
I was going to say, I don't know that any of us are in the tax bracket to be able to just eat nothing but scallops. They're not cheap.
Right.
Unless you are just near the seaside and harvesting them yourselves. But if you're enjoying some, like at a seafood restaurant, or you're making some at home, enjoy them. Just enjoy it.
Yeah, and this is not directed at Jessica.
No.
I'm going to turn this off.
No, you're not.
No, there we go. So I think it's interesting that so many people, they worry about, well, there's carbs in scallops, or there's carbs in shrimp, or there's carbs in eggs, or there's carbs in coffee, or there's carbs in liver, but then they don't care about the total carbs that are in the low-carb breads.
Right.
Like, they'll be like, I can't eat liver, there's carbs in it, but I'm going to eat a loaf of low-carb bread.
Right. Or a snack.
Right. So, like, let's focus on where the carbs are coming from.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if you want to have some scallops once in a while,
that's a whole food versus like a baked good, which is not a whole food.
Right. Next one is from Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
In case you haven't heard, the FDA has approved CGMs to be sold over the counter.
Isn't that exciting?
This happened a couple of months ago. I don't think they were available yet. But they're coming from Dexcom, and it's going to be missing some features that are required for diabetics.
But that's okay.
But
it's a step in the door.
I'm super excited that this is like a step in the door. But until then, you can use our link down below for Tastermonial.
That's the cheapest one I've seen.
Where you can get a prescription super, super cheap, as little as like $39 for a month, and it's even less if you do 6 months. I think it's like $100 if you get a 6-month prescription. We actually have to order some before our refill expires. Next one is from Tammy.
Hey, Tammy, the phrase, when you know better, you do better, isn't always accurate. I'm so mad at myself. My husband and I went away this weekend to celebrate our anniversary. We did not make good food choices. I literally went to bed one night with such a horrible stomachache. It was too full. And now today I'm trying so hard not to fast because I don't want my body to learn the feast or famine thing. But food just did not sound good at all day. I'm home from work now and the oven is preheating. I'm going to eat some bacon and then my husband will make us tenderloin fillets for dinner. Tomorrow is a new day. And Tammy, I love that you're saying this. What I don't want, what we can learn from Tammy's experience is you're going out on your anniversary to celebrate each other, your relationship, your love for one another. The evening following, wink, wink, and possibly the weekend extending into the celebration, wink, wink, of your happy anniversary. You don't want to feel like sweaty garbage. It's the same for your birthday. I've seen so many people, they go out for their birthday and decide, well, I'm going to eat all the things for my birthday to celebrate this year. And then they feel terrible on their birthday or just after their birthday. You want to be able, it's not a guilt thing.
Right.
Don't hear this as a guilt thing. If you're eating it and you're like, hey, this is a once a year thing and we're celebrating and this is the way we as a couple want to celebrate, and you walk away from it and you don't feel terrible, like that's a different thing, right? But if you are going to feel terrible in response to this, it's not really a gift to yourself, right? It's something that you have to recover from. And I don't like anybody coming away from a celebration of life as precious as this one and saying like, I'm mad.
Right.
I'm mad at myself, or this was a bad experience, because you're going to look back on your anniversary. Well, what did we do last year for our anniversary? Feel terrible, be aggravated with ourselves, be mad, right?
Next one is from Donna.
Hey, Donna.
Please remind me why I need electrolytes. Okay, this is a question we get a lot.
Good question.
Okay, so when you are on the standard American diet, your body has a lot more glycogen stores. It's like fluid stored in your muscles, and that's where a lot of your electrolytes are. When you're eating a ketogenic diet, your body releases a lot of those glycogen stores because it doesn't need it, because it's glycogen, okay? So your body doesn't need it. So now you have to constantly be replacing those electrolytes. This is a better way for our bodies to be fueled. It is, as Dr. Berry calls, the proper human diet. The 3 electrolytes we need to worry about the most would be sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Sodium is super easy. Salt your food. Heavily salt your food.
With Redmond real salt.
With Redmond real salt. Now the problem is that salt has been demonized for so long in this country, people are afraid of salt. But salt is your friend. Your body cannot function without salt. If you go start researching, you will find a lot of people with high blood pressure actually have low sodium. Yet, what do you always hear doctors? And I always think about one of my favorite TV shows is MASH, which actually has the greatest ending to any TV series ever.
Don't get him started.
There was an episode where Colonel Potter had high blood pressure, and they're like taking the salt from him and stuff like that. It wasn't the salt, it was the cigars.
It
was the stress.
Propaganda placement.
Right, exactly, right? So, but sodium, potassium, and then magnesium. Magnesium is the hardest thing to get on ketogenic diet because a lot of times you're going to find it in grains and things that are not very keto friendly. So you need to supplement magnesium. And then potassium, avocados. If you don't want to take supplements, avocados is a great
They're on
source.
sale this week for sure.
And that's why I always think it's funny, like when Salty came out, right? With Salty, people are like, well, look at how much potassium. You've got, how much is it? 416 milligrams of potassium in it. That's too much potassium. I'm not allowed to have that much potassium. Did your doctor say you can't eat a banana? Because a banana's got more potassium than this. An avocado has more potassium than this. So if you can eat a banana, like off of keto.
Right.
If your doctor says go eat a banana, then you can have this.
Right.
Because
it's good to know. I mean, I need to see it in ratio.
Right.
I need to have something to compare that to.
Like an avocado has more potassium than this.
If it's just out there like too much potassium could be mad and I can't relate to that, then I'm going to panic. That's what I usually do is freak out.
On average, you should be consuming, depending whether you're a man and you're a woman and how active you are, between 2,500 to 4,500 milligrams of potassium a day. A good place to start is around 2,500 milligrams of potassium.
Becky, I see, is asking, like, what flavors do we like the best? For me,
I like every flavor but lime.
I tend to like the Coco Loco, the caramel vibes.
Orange is probably my favorite.
And if you check out my Instagram reels and like the shorts from last week, I made a mole sauce, which is really dynamo, using the Coco Loco and also a Mexican hot chocolate that's really, really good if you'd like to try it with that. But I mean, I love the fruit flavors as well, but I'm just like Endless Summer is one that I love a lot, but I like the Coco Loco.
Christy said, I'm going to tell you something. This way of eating is for the birds.
Uh-oh.
I have so much energy now that I can't take a nap. Oh, how I always loved my naps. All I can do is clean. I need a garden to attend to or something. I can still sit. I can't sit still and just do nothing or be a couch potato.
I love this.
I have to be moving. All jokes aside, I can't believe how much energy I have.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to make myself use that energy for exercise and not just functional movement. I can't remember what Rachel calls it. I hope you all are having a great and blessed Sunday. Thank you, Jen and Rachel, for opening my eyes to this way of eating. Y'all are amazing.
Christy, thank you so much. And I will tell you, I can remember when my mom first started, and she was so flippin' mad that she was up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. No more drowsiness, no more like hard to get up in the morning. She's like, I am wide awake and it is way too early for this and I can't believe all the energy. And she really sounded like Christy, was joking that it's like, what am I going to do with all this energy?
Right.
Well, we're using it. Live it. Live with the energy. enjoy it, do things, right? Because I am used to being groggy.
Yeah.
Or if you're used to having a hard time getting going in the morning, it is hard when there is no negotiation. You have got to get up because you are wide awake.
Next one's from Vicky.
Hey, Vicky.
I've been wanting to make pickled vegetables. I have a yummy recipe, but it uses sugar. Has anyone tried using allulose for pickling juice? The veggies are all low carb, like green pepper, red pepper, yellow squash, cauliflower, and broccoli.
Yes.
So, okay. So the sugar is not generally part of the pickling process.
That's why you can make dill.
It's to add flavor. I would use allulose. Just be aware allulose is 70% less sweeter than sugar. So if you're looking for that same other sweetness, you may have to use more. Or if I was going to use a granular sweetener, I would use allulose. That's what I would use. Because allulose is an actual sugar. It is a rare sugar that has some health benefits and does not affect our glucose the same way as regular sugar does. I think it's like a miracle thing. I'm so glad that they've discovered it.
Me too.
If you're just looking for the sweetness, for example, like bread and butter pickles or sweet relish, I would just use liquid sucralose if you're okay with liquid sucralose.
Yeah.
So if you go to the store and buy no sugar added bread and butter pickles, or no sugar added baby gherkins, or no sugar added relish, they're using sucralose as the sweetener. I think it tastes just as good.
I do too.
That was one of the things that Rachel was disappointed in when we went to Lancaster, because she loves everything pickled.
And so many of the things we just couldn't buy. It was so different than our last visit to Lancaster when we were buying all of the pickled stuff. And I was telling myself that we were buying healthy things, that instead of buying candy and stuff, we were eating all of these pickled vegetables, and that was so great. But then I turned over the labels when we visited recently, and it was sugar, sugar, sugar everywhere in everything. Some beautiful vegetables that were just absolutely ruined by sugar, and I realized, it's not so friendly here to buy canned products.
In everything.
Yeah. So you really taking it on yourself to make your own pickles or your own pickled vegetables like this using a keto-friendly sweetener is a brilliant idea.
Like Joanna said, for a treat, I buy no sugar added bread and butter pickles. It's the one thing I miss going keto.
They're delicious.
I will not lie. We absolutely buy the baby gherkins, the bread and butter pickles, and we buy the relish. And I really like it. And listen, is it the cleanest thing in the world? No, but it's what makes it sustainable for me.
Well, if you have a problem with it, just leave it in the comments, because apparently we're going to be reading negative comments soon.
Yeah, right? Next one is from Laquetta.
Hey, Laquetta.
A little random, but I feel it may be fitting. I'm trying to get away from listening to so much news.
That's wise.
So I'm wanting to add more learning time with my morning coffee. I completed my first free course with Hill's.
Wow.
How is it fitting? Here is my excuse: wanting to remove sugar, replace it with beef.
This is brilliant. Again, thank you so much for sharing this, because I am telling you, a lot of times we are not having eyes on what's important. So when you think about hey, I stress eat. If you identify as somebody that when upset runs to sugar, then ask yourself, what makes yourself upset? How do you get upset? What is making you upset? And a lot of people have rightly identified that doom scrolling on the internet or watching just an hour or two of news when no news is good makes them stressed out, feel depressed, and send them running for the refrigerator. So how can you stop running for the refrigerator? Get to the root of the problem, which is the stressful, depressing doom scrolling, right? Take that out, replace it with something else. You're worth learning something like Laquetta is suggesting, or even if you just go and play a game on the computer, that would be a better replacement for something negative.
Right. I'm missing some slides.
I can see.
Okay. That was this one. I was going to grab them.
Hey,
Next one is from Melinda.
Hey, Melinda, I feel a bit guilty here. I bought some steaks on sale a few weeks ago and put them in the freezer. I really want one, but don't want to share with the youngest kiddo and the hubby. They waste more than they eat, but I really want that steak. I'll tell you, Melinda, what I do, because we do have some family that when we make steaks, especially like if they're fatty cuts of meat that's got some good marbling on them, I know that they're just going to waste my good fat that I want to eat. And so something that I've learned to do is I go ahead and just plate the food and cut it up for my loved ones that I know is just going to ditch certain parts of it. So if you're like, okay, I know my kiddo, my husband is not going to like eat this steak properly, or we're gonna waste some stuff, then that's when I would make like a steak salad where you're like cutting it up for them and it seems completely reasonable to like cut up your husband's meat, right? Or, for your kid, or you can just cut out like a portion of it that you know they're gonna eat, and whatever is like the ugly parts is what usually is my favorite.
I don't like to share either. And it's funny, I
think that's funny. I don't want to share.
Like we made a prime rib roast. And Caleb's like, I want some. And I'm like, you don't like fat.
So what did I do?
You just take all the fat.
Well, I just cut off the stuff that I knew was just going to go in the garbage anyway.
And then you eat it.
And then I eat it.
But it's like, we'll go to Texas Roadhouse and he'll be like, I'm going to order a prime rib. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Order a New York strip. Order something that doesn't have all of the fat on it, because I don't want to pay $27. And you're not going to eat half of it. So I understand where you're coming from.
I want them to order prime rib because I know that they ain't going to eat it all and mama's going to get the rest of it.
Next one's from Larry.
Hey, Larry.
Yesterday, after almost 7 years of following the proper human diet, my addictions to sugar-filled processed foods are not as prominent as they were when I began this journey. Please don't misunderstand me. These types of foods call out my name from time to time. However, they don't call as loudly as for as long.
That's so good.
What I now choose to eat comes as naturally as my choosing unhealthy foods once were. A total transformation with what my earth suit now desires. Woohoo. Funny how we all go through life not seeing this victory.
Larry, this is the perfect reminder that if you're somebody that's like, gosh, I wish that this carb addiction was not so pronounced in my life. I wish that I could go down the bread aisle and not be tempted by anything, or be around candy or sweets and not be tempted, or go someplace and it not be a hard decision for me to be at Chipotle and get the lettuce bed instead of getting the rice and beans, right? Like, we want these choices to be easier to make. That comes with consistency. Think about the first time that you moved in, like the first night you spent in where you live right now. You probably did not organically just know where all the light switches were in the house. Can you remember how much you bumped and bumbled around that first evening in your bedroom when you had to get up to like go to the restroom and you were like, I don't know where the light switch exactly is, and you're feeling around and it's a struggle, right? You may even hurt yourself while you're trying to like find that light switch. After nights and nights and nights of living there, you can go to a hotel room and you will feel on the wall where you think it is at home, right? Because you're expecting to feel what's normal to you because you've interacted with it so long. So Larry, you're reminding us the reason why it's easier to make good decisions now is because you have been consistently making good decisions. That's how it gets easier.
Next one, or this is actually the last one, is from Kathleen.
Hey, Kathleen, I have recently taken the plunge and started cooking my own steaks. Up till now, I have only had them in restaurants. My problem is one steak alone puts me way over the amount of protein and fat I should be having, and calories too, according to Chronometer. I never eat snacks and only have eggs and bacon for my first meal of the day. I love the steak and can always eat the whole thing. If I eat steak, does it have to be the only meat I eat? I see others posting meals with bigger steaks than I have. What am I doing wrong?
Okay, the only thing you're doing wrong is you're using Chronometer to tell you how much you should
I was going to say, I think your daily intake is your macros are too low.
So you're saying here that you don't eat snacks, you have eggs and bacon for your first meal of the day. It sounds to me, if you're having eggs and bacon and then eating a steak, then it sounds to me like you're not eating enough food.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't focus on calories. Focus on how much protein and fat are you consuming. So just to give you an idea, like you want to have at least 100 grams of protein a day minimum, and then a minimum of 100 grams of fat. And the fat's probably on the low end, but that's a good place to start. If you ate a pound of ribeye, which is a 1-to-1 ratio, right? 1 gram of fat to 1 gram of protein, you're not even at 1,000 calories. So I don't know where your macros are showing up with chronometer, but hopefully it's not that low. Okay, nobody should be eating that little bit. Nobody should be eating 1,200 calories or 1,300 calories unless you're doing a specific cut for like a week, like Robert has talked about, where maybe the last week that he's doing a cut with a client before a competition where they're really trying to show every vein or something, but that's not enough. So don't use chronometer to determine how much you should eat. If you're going to use chronometer, what it's good for is tracking how much you have eaten. But we don't believe in eating to tracking. We believe in maybe if you want to track what you ate to see what's going on and what you're doing.
And that's going to show
don't
you
eat to track.
And that's going to show you the ups and downs of like hunger. When you're trying to have communication with your body, it's nice to see what is my body's response. And then you can look back on your journal for the week and say, and it's kind of funny. If you were to have any other type of diary, what are you writing down? You're writing down what you're thinking now. You're not thinking, like, I believe that, like, I'm writing tomorrow's data today.
Right.
We don't do that when we're writing in a diary or we're writing in some sort of journal, right?
Right.
We're writing about like what's going on right now and reflecting on what just happened. So it's the same thing with keeping our data of what we're eating. Write it down like after you've eaten so that you can look back and see last week what was going on. I see that seems like I was hungrier on Wednesday than I was on Tuesday. Was there something going on in my schedule? Was there stress? Was I eating because I was authentically hungry? Did I eat a lot on Wednesday because I had a stress response and it was to run to the refrigerator? The only way that we're going to figure out what works for us is to be super honest and take data based on what is actually happening in our life.
Yeah. So just when it comes down to it, just eat your meat. I put the thumbnail up of like a person holding a little piece of steak. That's not enough food.
That's what they used to tell us, though. The palm of your hand was a serving of
picture.
meat.
Eat. I would say most people, like a good place to start for pretty much everybody is at least a pound of beef a day. And I know someone's gonna be like, "That's too much food." It's not too much food. It's what are you replacing that volume with?
Right.
Okay, what are you replacing that volume with? If you look at your plate and there's more vegetables than meat, you're eating backwards. Okay, that's the old way of thinking. Your plate should be mostly meat. And so but even a pound of beef and 3 eggs and 2 slices of bacon, that's not enough food for the day.
It's 24 hours. If you're thinking about just getting a pound of ground beef in your body and you have 24 hours to do it. Feels like it can be done. Yeah. Feels like it could pretty easily be done. Mm-hmm. Right? It's maybe if you have worked yourself into a situation where you only ever do OMAD, a pound of beef looks very different, but spread across 3 meals, a pound of beef looks completely reasonable.
We're missing a whole bunch of comments.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I can't fix that right now, and probably neither can you.
Well, I can. I don't know if we skipped over them. Let me see this one. No? Oh well. We're not going to worry about it.
Move on, Chris Bear.
They'll move into next week. But there was another question about like eating where they were eating about 1,000 calories and the person was asking about how much should I be eating? More than 1,000 calories.
Yeah.
Is the ending answer. So let's just jump right into the chat since the comments are missing. They're missing for a reason. So Renee said,
Renee.
Yes, I just bought 2 new cover-ups and a bathing suit.
Yay! I love it. Okay, and let us know, like, share in Mighty Networks, like, where are you finding, like, good deals on cute cruise wear? Because I love looking at cruise wear. I love preparing for what to wear.
Okay, Risa said, I also got the surprise box of Element Sparkling. I've tried 2 of them. They're delicious. Not a grapefruit fan, but the sparkling grapefruit is
Risa. I can't wait to try them.
delicious. Okay, here's a good question from Becky.
Hey, Becky.
Are you at your weight goal? Looking like you have lost more weight since your last home live.
Thank you. I think that my last reported weight was 128 pounds. We no longer weigh, so we keep track of like what's going on in our body based on our clothes and exactly what you're saying, Becky. So when we came home from like 30 days of being on the road, both of us were holding on to some inflammation, really having like a lot of like water retention and things like that, as would be normal whenever you're traveling. So that's why I always recommend people, if you still are incorporating the scale into your life, do not weigh yourself immediately following a vacation, especially if you've been on the road, you've been in a plane, you've been on a cruise. It's not just the food. You're gonna have inflammation from travel. We didn't eat anything undermining when we were away for 30 days, but the travel itself and the stress,
too much cheese.
Too much cheese. It does weigh on you. So after a week at home, I appreciate that you've noticed that. I actually took some photos for my own edification to like look at myself and see like that the whoosh of inflammation that just kind of goes down in our bodies, and it's amazing, especially in my legs. I've gotten back into the pool last week. Because it's warm enough here to do so, and just been doing a lot of like water aerobics and stuff, and that really helps with my lymphatic system. I really, really enjoy that, especially in my thigh areas. If that's a trouble area for you, consider some water aerobics. It definitely helps for me.
Okay, here's one, so I can see if I can find that one comment that it's going to be a great comment for you.
Uh-oh.
You can talk an hour on this one.
I'll try not to.
Peanut butter sabotaged my weight loss.
Hey, Sandy. Bummer, lesson learned. Sandy, we had to learn the same exact lesson. So
hey.
I am thankful that I am not alone, Sandy, because if it was just me, I'd be like super sad. So don't be sad. You're in good company. Nut butters of all sorts, peanut in particular, like can be a real problem for me. I have to be super, super careful. We did get, I think I
threw it out.
I had like 2 tablespoons when we were on the trip because we got some fresh made, for like grinding the peanuts.
I purchased some fresh made peanut butter, and then I brought it. It wasn't expensive. It was like $2 or $3.
It was super cheap. Yeah.
Right?
And you get to grind it yourself, which I feel like is fun.
I brought it in, and Rachel looked at that and immediately was like, had a couple of spoons, and then had a couple of spoons the next day. And I looked at it, and I'm like, I'm throwing it out.
Yes.
Because it was derailing.
It's undermining to me. So I appreciate that. But Sandy, we're in this together, girl. Like, I know, I feel that pain. I feel it.
Joanna said, I had some pizza last night on purpose, and as expected, I feel like poop today. Writing it out, and I'll feel better tomorrow.
I highly recommend, and I know that this may sound wasteful, but it is not wasteful because, like Joanna is saying, I feel like poop today. So she would love to have thrown out the I feel like poop today. If you feel like poop today, we can associate that with waste. When you talk about like what is a waste, poop is waste, right? So if you feel like poop, that's a waste. We don't want to feel like poop. Buy the pizza, scrape the toppings off, and just eat the toppings. You're gonna feel less like poop. There may be some inflammatory ingredients like in the tomato sauce, because they're not gonna use good tomato sauce. That doesn't have sugar in it probably, but you're gonna feel way less like poop if you just scrape the toppings off. In that most recent vlog that we did when we went to visit the FDR Museum, check that out. We released that yesterday. Joe actually went to that Adams fair trade market that was in New York. That was a great place. It had fantastic coffee also. But they had all kinds of different cool pizzas, and he just scraped off the toppings. In fact, the one you got didn't even have tomato sauce in it because they had specialty pizzas, and it was a street taco pizza, which was good. It was yummy.
Okay. So Risa said,
Hey, Risa.
I bought some root beer extract a while back from a Mennonite store that I go to, and I still haven't used it. I'm gonna try it with seltzer and stevia. Yeah, it'll definitely work well with stevia.
It tastes really, really good.
Okay. Platte River Keto said,
Hey,
I know
what's
that
up,
these
Scott?
have been out forever. I'll just found them though. Hearts of palm noodles. Okay, on keto. Seems to be based on ingredients. What are your thoughts?
They are okay on keto, but like Anthony loves them. He'll eat them cold right out of the package. He really, really likes those. To me, I don't like them as a replacement for like in a lasagna or something because it's got a sourness to it. Usually they're packed vinegary. You know what they remind me of is like artichoke hearts. If you've ever had artichoke hearts and they're kind of like pickled in like an oil, but they still taste pickly, like got a sour note to them.
Right.
That's how hearts of palm are to me. So I enjoy them for what they are, but what I would do is like chop them up and put them on a salad. I would not use them as replacement for lasagna noodles. I know a lot of people
But they are fine on keto.
Yeah, they're completely fine.
I found these 2 comments that I wanted to read.
Okay, good.
So the first one was from Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer.
I said, thank you for everything, but I still do notice a difference with exogenous ketones. I'm going to explain. I've been in morning and have not had much energy. A friend recommended I just try liquid ketones. I didn't expect anything. My energy levels are better, but I think clearer. In fact, if I drink ketones too late, I can't sleep. Yes, so we talked about exogenous ketones last week. Exogenous ketones will give you more energy. Mm-hmm. We're not denying that.
No.
And they will help you with the keto flu because they're generally bound to electrolytes. And they will give you a little bit more mental clarity because, again, they're exogenous ketones. They're ketones. Your brain is going to use them.
Right.
But they will not help you on your weight loss. The only way that exogenous ketones are going to help you on a weight loss journey is if you consume them before a workout.
Right.
Because they may give you a little bit of energy to do that workout.
And you'll have a better workout.
But you can also do that if you're just naturally producing ketones. So we're not saying that there is no place at all for exogenous ketones. We actually have some. Now, I think you're better off with the esters than the powdered ones. They're going to last longer. They are better quality. They just taste like crap.
Yeah.
They do. But like when I took my dive
better.
master exam, when I took my instructor's exam, whenever we have something that if we're doing a presentation, sometimes we will take exogenous ketones, especially if we just got off of a plane and we need that little boost of energy and I really want to be focused in. But they're overall, they are not needed and they could actually hinder a weight loss journey. So we want to make it clear, we're not against them.
No.
What I am against is the marketing practices of some of the companies, especially ones that sell through a multi-level marketing type system.
That are implying that it will help you lose weight faster. Yeah. That's what we don't like.
Or that you can have a cheat meal and then take exogenous ketones.
And it's like it didn't happen.
And the exogenous ketones make it not happen.
Right.
That's a flat out lie.
Yeah.
And I don't like it when the companies market it that way. And they do that.
But Jennifer, I'm so sorry for your loss. Like if you're in a time of mourning right now, that means you've experienced some loss and we're so sorry for that.
Okay, the other one that I had was from Carrie.
Hey Carrie, hi everyone. I am new to this community. Well, welcome Carrie. But I've been low-carb keto myself since 1998.
Wow.
But now for a number of medical and mental health responses, I have to put my son on keto. He is a 10-year-old with nonverbal autism, intellectual disability, and can become very aggressive. About a year ago, he had to go on psychiatric medication. This really destroyed his metabolism, and he is now 50 pounds overweight with a very fatty liver. I joined this community for your inspiration on recipes and suggestions. It will be difficult task to transition my son, and I will be in much need for ideas. He is an extremely picky eater, and as a young child was hospitalized for failure to thrive. That is why I didn't raise him low carb. I honestly thought the doctors knew what they were doing. Well, Carrie, we are so glad that you're here, and we feel very honored to be a part of this journey for you and your child.
So what I'm going to recommend is our friend Maria Emmerich has an amazing book with kid recipes that are keto.
Yes. And they're delicious. I mean,
Right. Haley Berry wrote the foreword for it. I forgot the exact name of the book. Somebody can put it down.
It's like Keto for Kids.
Keto for Kids or something.
But it's really, really good. It's got some good suggestions. I definitely highly recommend making our carnivore chicken nuggets. We have all kinds of stuff. In fact, we also have like a keto macaroni and cheese recipe where the cheese sauce alone on that recipe is so delicious. I think most kids will really like it. Definitely our keto chow egg pudding. There's like a lot of things, a lot of recipes out there that can make that transition easier. Sorry about that, but we did get we were expecting a package from FedEx that had to be signed for. So it was not able to be signed for yesterday, and it went back. That's probably...
I have no idea what it is.
Okay, it's probably
It's too small to think what it was.
Right, it's a Mother's Day package gift for my mama bear.
I don't know, some company called World something.
Yeah.
Okay, Jenny said,
Hey,
I'm
Jenny.
going to be ordering directly from Keto Chow soon because it's still not available in Canada. Does your discount link work for people ordering from other countries? I believe it does.
Yeah.
Okay. Girl raised in Texas, not an opinion. Soybean is awful.
So true.
Let them eat it. I'll make better choices for my body.
Well, and I'm glad that we can be individual and like don't let anybody try to bully or, try to stock your pantry and your refrigerator for you. And that's for everybody, right? Sometimes people, when they're conveying their opinion, whether it's in the comments or it's a content creator themselves, can come across as like super emphatic. But the truth of the matter is, you're responsible for the groceries you buy and put inside of your house, and nobody has control. Like, you get to choose for yourself.
Sarah said,
Hey, Sarah.
I want to try prime rib, but I love ribeye steak and will choose it every time. Now remember, prime rib is ribeye.
Right.
Now it's funny, I don't like ribeyes.
No, he does not.
But I love prime rib. And the difference is the way it's cooked.
Yeah, cooking
So
style.
prime rib is slow roasted in one big piece of meat, and so the fat becomes like candy, and it just like melts.
I see Katie has a question. I know you're not doctors. Do you think a dementia patient would benefit from exogenous ketones?
Yes.
If so, what brand would you recommend? Pill form would be better.
I don't know of any pill form exogenous ketones.
But I think I have some of that human.
Yeah, so the human, and then the other one that we get,
I have it in the refrigerator.
The one that we use, we'll put a link in this video when we're done.
Yeah.
The one that we use that has the keto hall.
Yes.
Right. Those are the ones that I think are the best, but they just taste like crap.
They taste terrible.
But I don't know of any in a pill form that will work, because when they're in a pill form, they're going to have to be bound to something. One of the difference between the ketone esters is it's a liquid, and then the ketone salt is they're bound to something, and a lot of times they do use maltodextrin and stuff. But the ketone esters are better quality and will last longer. But yes, that is the place when you're into the dementia thing, when you're dealing with anything with a brain issue. If somebody has dementia, my personal opinion is, first of all, I would go check out like the book from Dr. Chris Palmer on brain energy.
Yeah.
But anybody to me that is on dementia or Alzheimer's or something like that, we should at least be, in my personal opinion, at least trying to have them on a very, very strict ketogenic way of eating.
I would
almost only meat.
I would also
with very high levels of fat.
Check out Amy Berger.
Yes.
She wrote an amazing book about Alzheimer's that is just incredible. Just
But that's
a really
where
great book.
exogenous ketones will help, because they need the
B-E-R-G-E-R.
higher ketones. They need the higher ketones.
I think To It Nutrition is her website.
Okay. Okay, Marie said Perfect Keto has the capsule of BHB ketones. Yes, they do. When we tried them, I didn't get the result that I was looking for. That's why I don't recommend them. I like, again, especially when I'm looking at ketone esters. Let's see. We're gonna go down to the
because we did do a video on different ones and how they reacted in our body, just so that people could make choices about like how long they lasted.
Risa said, I just worry about carbs that are added to things, not the carbs that are natural in food, like
That's
meats,
smart.
eggs, and vegetables. When it is added sugar and things like that, the carbs and protein are okay for you.
That's a great
I would agree.
perspective. Yeah.
The only place that I would be careful is, yes, there's things like tomatoes and squashes that have carbs and they're whole foods. I would be very, stingy about how much of that I eat because, again, it's a starch, which is a sugar. And if you're consuming a lot of that, it's really designed to make you forage and designed to help you when you can't get meat.
I also like to think, just keep in mind that the whole goal is deprescribe pills and medication and let your nutrition be your medication moving forward. That's the win. Your food is your vitamins and minerals and nutrients. It's your fuel for the day. That's what it is. It's not our source of joy. It is not our fulfillment in life. What it is, it's not there for us to this is how I have fun. This is my fuel and my nutrition. So I like to lead with things that are going to be nutrient dense. Nutrient density, if that's your goal, can really help you make food choices. Look and see, based on your sex and your age and what's going on in your life, what do people that look like you or act like you or have things going on in their body like you, what are they usually deficient in? Then I go to Dr. Google and find out where can I find those vitamins and minerals and nutrients so that I can not be deficient in that area. And you'll find most of the time, it has something to do with a ruminant animal or salmon roe. One of those two is going to answer that.
Kim said,
Hey,
ketovore since last October. I drink at least one element every day, but I started having leg cramps again. Will using Keto Chow mineral drops daily in addition to element be too much? Absolutely not.
No.
We actually do that. We use the Keto Chow daily mineral drops. That's the base. And then from there, you're going to use things like salty or element to give yourself more electrolytes. So if you're having leg cramps, if they're active during the day when you're moving around, it's probably potassium. If it's at night, it's probably magnesium. You can also just, instead of using, I think everybody should do the daily minerals because it's the base of all the minerals that we're not getting in our food. And the reason we're not getting in our food, because people will turn around and go well, if you have to add minerals, it means you're not really eating a proper human diet. The problem is the minerals are not in the soil anymore because we're farming on nutrient and minerally depleted land because many times we're not farming properly, where you farm an area and then you put animals there and you move to another area and do regenerative farming. They just turn the soil and keep going, and so we're minerally depleted land, so we're not getting the minerals that we need. So Dr. Berry designed the daily mineral drops and now capsules for Keto Chow. That's the base. That's where everybody should be.
Get the
capsules. Then you add extra electrolytes if you need them. But I would also take a look at the Keto Chow mineral drops or the mineral capsules, or also try salty over element. And listen, we like element, but salty has a lot more magnesium and potassium in it.
A lot more.
And we found that just switching over and using more salty,
we didn't have to take magnesium at night.
Reduce the amount of additional magnesium that we've had to take. TJ said,
Hey, TJ.
Public service announcement, this is not a judgment, just an observation. Y'all very much about beverages in your life. I'm a water girl with one flavored electrolyte.
That's awesome.
I just hate water.
Yeah. I mean, I like water.
I drink it. It's got to be super, super cold. But I do like change, and I like to have different things.
Yeah.
So, once in a while I'll have a soda. I try not to drink a bunch of soda every day, especially considering I used to drink 128 ounces a day of soda. I don't drink that much anymore, but I do like change.
I mostly drink water throughout the day, but it has to be super, super cold. I really like a lot of ice in my water. And when we go out to eat, I rarely ever get anything but water. Number one, because I just like water and I don't like a distraction from the food. And number two, water's free. So I always usually get a water. Now, the one time where I will drink diet soda is usually when we are at Universal or Disney World for whatever reason.
And for me, the thing is that I use beverages as what Dr. Sivas calls a bridge to not eat. So sometimes I will use that beverage to not eat.
I tried to get away from that because I work so hard to figure out when I'm hungry and when I'm full.
Right.
That can interrupt that.
Okay, last one. TJ said, I hope Salty will do a canister at some
Wouldn't
point.
that be cool?
It would be really cool. I will say that, so when Chris was developing Salty, we did become like a test agent for him. And so I had to do him the same thing. I would love to see this in a tub. And so he did give us some, and we put it in an old tub. And the point was to see how long would it take for it to clump in humidity. Because if you're in Utah, you don't have to worry about that. But if you're here in Florida, you have to worry about your humidity. And like something like one of my favorite things that we cannot buy would be the Red Rock barbecue seasoning.
Oh my gosh, it turns into
I love that
ball
stuff.
of Play-Doh.
And it doesn't even just like become a hard rock because of the allulose.
It's like goo.
It becomes like goo.
It's disgusting.
Because it literally soaks up all the humidity. So we did do a test, and though it was better than some of the other products out there, it wasn't to Keto Chow standards as far as it was going to clump up pretty quickly. And so that's why they opted, at least for now, to not do that unless they can maybe find a better type container or somewhere.
I was going to say, and you have to think, even if, like, let's say you live in Utah and you're like, yeah, but it would work for me. Can't they just sell it to just me? No. They have to think about, like, somebody could buy it in Utah.
I appreciate that.
And then send it to a family member that lives in a very humid area, and then they have a really bad experience with it. It just kind of saves their customer service, people to not have that situation.
Okay, so lots of people were commenting Wednesday, so let's just do Wednesday.
Wednesday night it is.
Okay, so if you're just tuning in, we have a church dinner that we need to go to on Thursday, so we're going to do our live stream on Thursday at 8 p.m.
And I see Joe is here, which reminded me, if you live near a fresh market, today is buy one, get 1 pounds of bacon. Don't miss out.
Yep.
Because you'd be sad if you missed that deal.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you on Wednesday.
We love you guys.
Bye.